This Barcelona breakdown, baby. Y'all know I was trying to do my Fergie voice. And I'm still kind of under the weather. But what's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva. And I'm back here again for another recap of those crazy ladies, those Georgia peaches, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're in season 10, and I believe this is episode 15, Barcelona breakdown. They were living La Vida Loca. But I think really they were living La Vida Loca, living La Vida Loca in Barcelona this episode. Lord Jesus, Marlo done showed her ass out there in Spain, about to get folk in a Spanish jail. If this is your first time stopping by this channel and you like what you see, that would be me, of course. If you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe. As you know, YouTube has decided to cut off us little people who are still trying to build our platforms. And if you don't have 1,000 followers or X amount of impressions or views of your videos, they took your ability to monetize away. So help a diva out, why don't you? So let's just get into it. Real quick though, I want to revisit Cynthia because I hadn't been able to review for a while. But another thing I don't understand about Cynthia is why is it that she still thinks that Peter and her should be friends when she's the one who filed the divorce papers and decided she couldn't go on any longer with getting notifications from Mint.com saying that your bank account balance is low. Help me understand that. And like Peter said, he don't want to be a friend. The rooms are still fresh. Let's just go on. If Noelle still wants to be with him, because that makes sense. He was a huge part of her life, a huge part of Noelle's life as far as co-parenting goes. Just let it be what it is. Okay, Cynthia? So let that go. Meanwhile, Eva is the first up this morning after the ladies had a wonderful girls' night pajama jam twerk session. I don't know what Nene was doing, but it looked arthritic and geriatric. I think the days of the pole game is gone. Let it go. But it looked like so much fun, and it looked like a great bonding experience, which made you wonder, how the hell did it all go left as we get through this episode? But Eva had me dying laughing. She was going around the house offering people coffee. No one wanted coffee. She even offered the Honorable Kim Wig a cup of coffee. I died. I said, I'm done. This girl is crazy. Also, Eva is very, very shocked by how this group interacts. Eva girl, you should have watched a freaking season at least of Real Housewives of Atlanta to learn how these ladies truly get down. So they gonna ask you some random stuff and you gonna be offended. Shamia, it's a nickel and dime thing with her. She wants a peach. So that's why she's going after you. Of course, we know that Eva was dating a former Atlanta mayoral candidate. His name escapes me. But he seems to be a very nice man. And of course, way better than the man that she initially was going to marry, Kevin McCall. That young man right there. And I think, quite frankly, some medication would help him. I hate to categorize him because I'm sure there are other underlying issues in the DSM-5, but he's bipolar. I mean, he is one of those. And right now, he's manic. So he needs help. And Ileana Van Zant tried to help him. But let me tell y'all something. If people don't want help and they're not receptive to it, they're not going to get it. But Eva was saying that it's okay if I bring it up, but please don't ask me about it. I was like, well, girl, how are they supposed to get to know you? But I guess, let's be real. If you're talking to somebody, you don't ask them about what goes on behind closed doors. You ask them, what are your interests? What do you like to drink? What do you like to read? You don't ask them, so when was the last time you and Missy Elliott dipped on each other? When was the last time y'all bumped donuts? I mean, you don't. Shamia, come on now. Of course, the topic of discussion, as we know, when they left off at dinner, Kim had sent these videos and pictures of Nene in her quote-unquote scandal. These water bugs that Brielle had decided to film while she was allegedly trying to Snapchat or take a selfie. Now, the discussion was Kim should check her daughter on being inappropriate. Now, don't get me wrong, Brielle is grown, but you technically are in grown folks' business. Why would you do that to Nene And I mean, I get that's your mother, but you know, there was a time when you loved your Auntie Nene. And I just think it's low down and dirty. And I think Kim should have at least told her child, you know, let mama handle it, not you. So it just, and it was the pool house, and those look like water bugs to me. But that's neither here nor there. And of course, Sheree was getting defensive, time. I'm not telling anybody how to raise their kids. Well, Brielle has already been raised. The issue is that you could at least advise her that maybe you should have told Brielle that wouldn't be appropriate. That's all they were saying. Porsha ain't gonna get a break. Porsha is not gonna get a break for her. It's almost as if, I think someone else said it, maybe it was Alex Rogers or Justin, I think it was Alex Rogers. I think that Phaedra should have been offered a contract to stay, because that way she too could have gotten the brunt force of her transgressions too, because right now Porsha is bearing it for all of them. But that's a lesson right there for anyone, to know that you can't run and tell that all the time and repeat. If someone tells you something in confidence, and even no matter how juicy it is, keep it to your damn self. Hell, that's how you get in trouble. And then on top of that, just like she was upset with Cynthia, and Cynthia did say, if y'all hear anything about my man, let me know. What she should have put in was a proviso and said, if any of you, with the exception of Porsha, hear anything about my man Will, let me know. Because Porsha is not a reliable source. Her credibility has been like totally slaughtered and slashed. No one's going to believe you. Because Candy just dropping shade bombs. Like napalm, because they were talking about how she's the queen of backpedaling, and Porsha was like, she's not. So it was just ugly. Well, good news is Nene got them a hotel room, because the villa is just horrible and unlivable. Mildew, I guess it must have a mold and mildew smell to it, which I wouldn't want to live in that either. They're going but before they move to the hotel, they're going to go sightseeing. They seem to have fun there. On the ride there, Cynthia is still trying to live out her lesbian fantasy with Candy. I'm just like, Candy might as well go ahead and give Cynthia something she can feel, because Cynthia wants you to pop her Lady Pond cherry. I mean, that's all. Instead, she ended up kissing Porsha and tried to tongue Porsha, and it was nasty. And I was like, where's the mouthwash? And then Cynthia was, not Candy. Porsha was like, hell, is that how you kiss? We don't know, why do you got problems? I was like, oh, Lord. And Candy like, I ain't doing nothing with none of y'all heifers no more. Okay, I'm done. There was something about the 50 Cent challenge. Marlo made up her own challenge, dropping it like it hot with her thong panties on or something. I guess for her to be as old as she is, Marlo looked good. Them legs nice, that butt tight. It's just right. By the way, I just want to note right here, no one seems to miss Kenya Moore throughout this whole trip. So here's what I'm thinking. Do we really need Kenya Moore on Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore? But I digress. Let's get back to the story at hand. Cynthia got her kiss from Porsha. It was whack. It was sloppy as fuck, and passed the Listerine. It was almost like turning into a Girls Gone Wild spring break up in this piece, okay? So to see the city, instead of doing a big bus tour or something like that, Cynthia got them a Groupon deal for these little cute go-karts that you can tool around Barcelona in the city of Barcelona. Well, maybe we should not have given keys or gears to Porsha. Porsha crashes and burned before they could even get out of the place. Ran in the back of a total stranger. I said, oh, Lord, I hope Bravo got good liability insurance, y'all. And here's the thing. Porsha, why would you be driving in 6-inch heels? Like, who does that? And I don't even drive in my heels. What I do is I wear flats, and when I get to where I'm going, I make valet or whomever wait so I can put my shoes on, because I had an aunt years ago that always wore stilettos, driving, walking, going to the grocery store. It didn't matter. My aunt crashed, got rear-ended, and jammed her ankle, and ended up not being able to wear heels for 6 months. And Diva cannot do that, honey. I need my heels, honey. And I'm 5'11", but I do wear anywhere from 4 to 6-inch heels. So I try to protect myself as best as I can. But so I think, honestly, the reason why the crash happened is that she had on them heels. And she probably did think she was pressing the brakes, and it was the gas. And let me tell you, sometimes in these countries, you got to be careful. When I was in Aruba, they gave me a car when we were doing our off-roading where it would just, the power would just run down on the thing, like run down. And I was like, this is not safe because I'm trying to keep it with the group. And I don't know this island. Granted, Aruba ain't that big, but either way. By the way, if anybody wants to sponsor me a trip to Aruba, I would gladly take it right now. I need a vacation so desperately. Either way, let's get back to it. So they get on with it. It's an adventure. Then they decide to have lunch at this cafe on the patio, and that's when shit got real. First of all, I'm trying to figure out, you in Spain, y'all supposed to be tasting Spain. I don't understand why anyone didn't get some sangria. Y'all talking about some absolute vodka. Who does that? Who raised you? In the words of T.K. Kirkland. But hey, to each their own. Y'all were having a good time. It's on Bravo's dime, whatever. But Porsha, wait a minute, let me back up. Porsha had me down. She said, it was like a freak of nature. And I'm just like, girl, you mean a freak accident, not a freak of nature? I was like, Lord. And then she tried to blame my eyelashes. Porsha, it was the heels. You on vacation. Put on some Chucks and some flip-flops or some ballet flats and call it a day. So they trying all this delicious food. Let me tell y'all something. Paella is the bomb.com. If you can get some authentic Cuban paella, oh my God, is the shiznit. But either way, they're doing that. Porsha, you know, her storyline this season was about being vegan. Well, she's now a pescatarian. There you go. I think she tried, she said octopus, but I'm pretty sure it was calamari, which is squid. So I don't, you know, she don't know. They got tentacles, you know, whatever. She said she wanted some tentacles in her mouth. Get in my belly. So, okay, y'all. Either way, let me stop. They talking about the whole video that Kim has sent, right? So they're confronting Sheree. Now here's the thing. Sheree knew about that video a month before this even happened because Kim showed it to her. Sheree was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to Kim, but I'm not gonna tell her how to raise her kids. I don't want nobody telling me how to raise my kids. And I was like, here we go again with that bullshit story. But either way, y'all know the bone collector is gonna tell. I mean, Kim would be semi-informed because she don't always get it right. What can I say? In other words, she told Kim a half-truth. Nene never said that Kim faked any of her health issues. She just said anyone that has survived them. And we talked about that in the previous video. So all I'm saying is that sometimes the bone collector misquotes. Okay? So in other words, if she writing a paper, y'all better check it for plagiarism. Google that shit and make sure it didn't come from somewhere else. Okay? When Nene was talking about who the hell still has roaches, and in my mind I was thinking a lot of kids that live in the inner city in places like New York, who has been labeled the #1 dirtiest place, dirtiest city in America, read evicted. I'm getting a little serious, but read evicted. There's a lot of roaches in the inner city. So yeah, people do still have roaches. But I know in Texas, we have water bugs. In California, we have water bugs. Okay, so, because Lord knows, I know one night I came home to my apartment when I used to live in my old spot in Long Beach, and I was like, what? I felt like something was staring at me. And y'all, it was the biggest ass water bug I'd ever seen in my life. He was looking at me like he was offended that I had turned on the light in my own damn house and I was in his. But I'm not afraid of bugs like Sheree was when they did that flashback and she was on her patio. So, who has roaches? Who has roaches? Either way, I don't want to see water bugs, spiders, scorpions, nothing in my goddamn house, okay? So either way, get an exterminator. Let Terminex come by every 3 months and to get that shit handled. With Nene basically said that me parking in that handicap spot was months ago. So Kim took that picture months ago. Not to mention, how long ago was that pool house incident with Brielle? So basically, Kim has been doing that shady ass shit of recording, hoarding pictures. And like Candy said last week, she's like, she's not invited back to my house. And we know why, because Kim acts like she's so above the fray that, you know, where Candy lives apparently, talking about, isn't this the hood? Lock your doors. I mean, come on now. Nene killed me when she was like, yeah, we had roaches come in the house and we named them, 3 of them. Kim, Croy, and Brielle. I was like, God, dog. God, dog. I was like, I can't wait to see this reunion. I can't wait to see it. And this is when it got really bad and really dark. And this is when the vacation took a left. It went left. Marlo has decided that she is the punisher, the retributioner, to get back at Porsha for the lies that she has told. Okay, here's the deal. I think somebody else said it in one of my notifications that came up. At what point is Candy gonna tell the ladies, Porsha has come to me as a woman and apologized for what she has done. I've accepted it, but at the same time, I still don't want to have anything to do with her. It's almost like she should apologize to the collective of them. And I guess it does hurt because it's like, well, if she's telling these lies about Candy, what could she have possibly flipped on me? Okay, so Marlo is really attacking Porsha, going hard on the poor girl and talking about a doormat. Because at first I thought she talked about Porsha's house not being big enough, but it was the doormat. Porsha, my mama, Bobby, that doormat, it means so much to me. I was like, girl, is your mama dead? Is your mama dead? Miss Sassy and Brassy is still pooching around here looking just as cute as can be. Girl, stop. Don't let her get to you. And then Porsha had this fan that she used to kind of fan over to keep Marlo from getting too far off in her face. Marlo claims she pointed at her face. You got in Porsha's face, Marlo. So then I heard Marlo say something about she was a foster kid. And I was like, this explains so much. She's suffering from childhood trauma like Nene. I mean, let's be real, y'all. Anytime any of us have big issues, especially when we strike out at people all the time, or we seek validation like Marlo does with wearing the most expensive labels and letting everybody know that we've been down to Gucci and then dropped $5,000 and can't pay our mortgage. But okay, I'm just not to say that she can't, but I'm just saying these are the type of things that happen. So, she's been a poor chick before, and that's why she goes hard. But Marlo's behavior was uncalled for. It almost turned violent. It almost got local authorities involved. And as a friend of the show, I think that she should have been asked to go. She is not a full-time cast member. She is Nene's friend, and I just think that it was highly inappropriate what went down on the streets. I mean, if anything, they kicked you off for a while. Now they're letting you come back and you show your ass again. How appropriate, Marlo. And like Porsha said, Marlo puts the low in Marlo. She really did. I just thought it was uncalled for. They had to get up and leave their lovely dinner because the cops got called and they had to rush back to the villa and pack. Then another thing that disturbed me about this episode is how Marlo was talking about don't nobody have IKEA furniture. And I'm like, well, what do you have? Rooms to go, Ashley? I mean, there's nothing wrong with IKEA furniture. That stuff, some of that stuff is really good. Like my bed frame for my queen bed that I used to have, it lasted forever. Although we did have a breakdown one time, but we're not going to talk about that. But either way, it's just one of those things where it's, what's wrong with IKEA? Cynthia was like, hell, I got furniture from IKEA. I mean, good shit. Hell, the Swedes use it, and they're some of the happiest people on earth. They get back to the villa. Cynthia almost lost her wig to a door hook. Girl, that's why you get you some bobby pins and just clamp it all down all the way around. If it don't come with combs, get you some bobby pins and pin that shit down. But when they get back, Nene finally is getting her wish. Nene's biggest wish is to be everybody's mama and big sister, okay? And she really was mad at Porsha because Porsha wouldn't be her little sis no more, okay? So now she's, I see that Porsha, something really wrong. I need to help her. Because Porsha's pouring out her heart in some random stream of consciousness. I didn't understand where it was coming from. I was like, girl, what are you talking about? I spent time with my family and I did this, and I'm just like, I got closer to God, and now I came back and tried to be my happy, open self, and the girls, they just don't want to accept me. Why? Oh God, why, Jesus Lord? I'm just like, what the fuck does that have to do with what just happened? Like, you with your family, eating with them. It didn't add up. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about Porsha's cries for help. But either way, I will say this: Porsha did not drag Marlo. I did think it was funny when Nene said, "You better hurry pack your shit before Porsha come and drag your ass down these stairs, Marlo." Didn't Marlo go to prison though for cutting somebody? That's why I was like, y'all better take her knives and forks away from her at this damn table. Hell, she probably could use a spoon to hurt somebody. But I was really just like, what? I don't understand. But Porsha has decided to bow out of the trip and go home. That's why I said, if anything, the producer should have asked Marlo to leave. And let me see what somebody said. One of my people that commented. So Shayna Slayless made a very good point. She said they are trying to isolate her so she quits because she didn't get fired. That's why they're doing what they're doing to Porsha. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I said it sounds like a Sun Tzu Art of War move. And one of the things that Sun Tzu says is, hence to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. So they're trying to break Porsha's resistance down and make her break and leave. And so far it's working because now she's abandoning an awesome trip. She's going to go home and bond with her family and perhaps get closer to God. But next week, the ladies' shenanigans and adventures in Barcelona or in Spain will continue. And I guess Cynthia is having needs a spiritual journey. She's going to bathe herself in Lake Minnetonka in Spain. Although Candy's sitting there watching, talking about it looked like a whole bath. I'll tell you what else was funny before we finish talking about next week. When Candy called Todd, gave him the rundown, and talked about Cynthia wanted to kiss me. He was like, only if you FaceTime me. I was like, he's like, y'all living out your lesbian, bisexual fantasy. I said, Todd's so nasty. He wants to see everything. But he a man, honey. He a man, okay? So next week, we talked about Cynthia taking hoe baths. We're going to talk further about Sheree's prison mate, Tyrone, who Nene claims to have never dated. And apparently the ladies, while they were in Spain, something went down where they had to lock it down. So either way, let me get off of here. Like I said before in some of my earlier videos, I feel better than I sound. I think my sinuses, I have a sinus infection. I have my doctor's appointments, excuse me. But I feel better than I sound. But let me tell y'all something. If y'all ever want to get to feeling better and you got something like this going on, because I sound way better than I did yesterday, child, go get you some Vietnamese beef vegetable soup or bean and noodles, whatever. It's pho. Get you some pho, okay? Powerful stuff, because, I mean, as soon as I started eating it, my sinuses and stuff and chakras just opened up. But either way, thank you guys for joining. Be sure to subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. And I'll see y'all next week for more adventures with the Georgia Peaches, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I have been Miss Sophia the Diva, and in the words of the great Jennifer Lewis, the mother of Black Hollywood, don't sit and shit too long. It stops stinking after a while. Or so she said, or however she said it. But y'all know what I'm saying. Get y'all shit together. Get up, get out, and get something, and do something with your life.